Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasha Koholoimla, Yahweh, H.I.M, Yahweh, H.I.M, Rakahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh to the best of their ability. Shajah Hanan Nawaf just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And let me just grab a quick scripture before I jump off into this article. This is Ecclesiastes 3:15. It says, "That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and Yahweh requireth that which is past." Right? So all the past history that these Edomites are trying to get rid of, the Lord is going to require that past, man. The Lord doesn't forget anything. You know, and the scriptures talks about how 1,000 years is like a day to the Lord. You know, this was just yesterday, so to speak, to the Lord. It's fresh on His mind as to what you Edomites have done to the children of Israel. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's your biblical nationality. And the reason why we go through so much hardships is because of, you know, of course, breaking the commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, breaking our portion of the contract or covenant that we had with Him. The first and second covenant belong to us, and it doesn't belong to any other nations. And these other nations, they are actually enemies of the Lord, according to Psalms chapter 83. But let's just check out some of what Trump said here, right? It says, Trump says Smithsonian museums focus too much on how bad slavery was. Orders his attorneys to conduct a review. This is how far this man to go. He's actually going to send attorneys through to conduct a review, and pretty much, no, we don't like that, no, we don't like that, no, we don't like that. Actually, they're going to want to just get rid of all of it, you know. But the thing of it is too, and the reason why they want to get rid of social media, so to speak, you know, certain, and just the internet in general, because it is really making them look real bad. And that shameful spewing is being, you know, pretty much the skirt is being pulled up. Matter of fact, let me get that one, shameful spewing. Because remember when it came with all that critical race theory and all that stuff, certain, you know, and they pretty much got it in play where slavery is not being taught in schools and stuff like that. Not that we got a lot of it anyway. It wasn't like they was really giving no information super duper like that. They wasn't telling our, you know, us, and even in high school, you know, where being older, you could probably, you know, I guess withstand you know, a little bit of it anyway. They wasn't telling us that we was being hung. They wasn't telling us that, you know what I'm saying, it was castrating the men and buck breaking them and you know, raping grandmama and, you know, running Jake down with goddamn hound dogs. And the reason why you have police officers today is because police officers or policing started with white people chasing down slaves. That's where you get your overall police academy and departments from. That's where it stems from. They're not telling you. It's so much of that shit, man, that we don't know about, you know. And then the little bit that they show us, you know, it's nothing, man, because the Lord, He knows all the atrocities, all the serious atrocities, you know what I'm saying. And we're going to get to see that in the kingdom. And you know, me speaking as a man, I believe that's why we're going to have such a real strong perpetual hatred for their asses. It's going to be a righteous hatred, because we're going to have within our spirit, you know what I'm saying, or the new covenant, those laws, statutes, and commandments written on our minds and our hearts, and we're going to righteously whip their asses, man. And we're going to get to see the real hardcore behind the scenes, the legislative shit they was doing, writing in these laws, all that Willie Lynch shit, all that Jim Crow shit, and just going beyond that. It's so much information, man, you know. But they don't want you to know that you was once chained up and shackled up and you know, by the thousands damn near, sardine packed in, shitting on each other, pissing on each other, period blood on, you know, that brutal, that Atlantic slave trade, that boat ride had to have been a mug, man. People throwing up, motion sickness. You never even been in a situation. Matter of fact, there's history where once the journey was done, the boat would be absolutely so disgusting that they would just burn it. They wouldn't even use it again because of all the bodily fluids. You imagine, you chained up, you can't use the bathroom. So the people on top of you or next to you, they doing all that on themselves right there on the spot. You know, so just think about and see that type of stuff right there that's shameful spewing on Esau's hookup. And when they're talking about making America great again, you know, they most definitely want to kill everything that they ever done to you. You know, they don't want that information out there. It's because it's embarrassing as shit. You 2025, and people are pointing out all these atrocities that they done. That shit is shameful to these people, man. They can't take that shit, especially not this newer school. Now you got these older ones that voted for Trump, the megas, though, they love it, you know. But this is Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, because see, they're gonna eventually drink of the same cup. And let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So all that glorious shit that they done, all them conquerings, you know, we're the best in the world. And now all of a sudden, you know, this online or this internet is showing the nastiness of their world, of what they really done. They don't want nothing to do with that now. And now they're just like, well, now we're in 2025, we're in the future. Forget about that. Look at all the great things you niggas got. You got a cell phone now. You got a PlayStation. Look at the technologies that we're giving you. You know. Yeah, you got to work 2-3 jobs. Yeah, we know that. You know what I'm saying? We know that. You know, it's hard for you to really buy a home or get you some property and shit like that. But they like, nah. But look at what else you got. You got Jordans, man. You got some Jordans on your feet. You know, you got a you know, you're able to drive a nice car. You know, and put some rims on it. See, this is the way that they're looking at. You know, they're not, you know, see, this is what he's saying. Let's go back into the article. He says, I wanted to just jump straight to where he's saying here. The museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. That's what they're calling it. They're calling it woke because you know about what they done. Only a portion of it, rather. They calling that woke. They don't want our children. See, when the children go to school right now, you know, they're in preschool, they go to first grade, second grade, third grade. They're gonna phase all that out. They're just gonna tell the kids, okay, well, you know, you came here on a damn visa or something, or you know, you came here willingly. You know, they're able to write the history the way that they want to write it because they're the ones that's in control of the curriculum. That's how you know that Job 9:24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And he's the one that's running down the curriculum on the children, man. He's the one that's in control of saying, you better bring your damn kids to our schools 8 hours a day or we'll come and arrest your ass and we'll take your children. That right there says right there that you Jake, don't have no power, man. Okay? And that you're still slaves. It says the Smithsonian is out of control. Where everything discussed is how horrible our country is. That's that shameful spewing. How bad slavery was. Well, wasn't it? What you think niggas was actually, you know, feeling that shit? Come on, bro. Getting their backs whipped in, you know what I'm saying? You know, motherfucker coming out to the cabin, you know, fucking a man's wife, man, while he has to listen to it. You raping the kids, you doing all kinds of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they were letting dogs rip Jake apart in front of the families, separating the families, sending one, you know, family member to this plantation while the other one go to the other plantation. You got sons having sex with their mothers, which are breeding. You know, like, you know, nasty work, man. And it's a lot that we don't even know that these people were doing. Okay, but it says, as a matter of fact, let me get a scripture saying that. Let me get another one. Psalm 73. I'm going to just start from verse 3 because there's so much with it. But the point is down here in verse 8. It says, Psalm 73:3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, because this is their kingdom right now. Neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. They're real prideful about a lot of the shit that they done. But now it's starting to be with this newer school, this newer generation. They're seeing that as really, that's very damn shameful. We don't want to be associated with that. And then they'll tell you too, we had nothing to do with it. You know, but they won't admit, you know, fully admit, you know, you might have one here or there. And even one that may admit, he's more than likely an Israelite. You know, just a Israelite that looked like one of the other nations, or it looked like a so-called white person. It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment, because these are very violent people. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They had more than heart could wish. They are corrupt. This is the point. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. And this is what Trump is basically doing right here. He's speaking wickedly of our oppression. Okay, he says, the Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. We are not going to allow this to happen. And I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start to exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities, where tremendous progress has been made. So they're trying to get rid of that history. So just imagine another 40 years or so, it would be pretty much overall a wrap. They'll be changed up everything, because they done, whitewashed a bunch of shit anyway. A lot of, because that's just what they do. As time goes on, they kind of revise shit and amend shit, and next thing you know is, Michael Jordan is a white man. You let this shit go on for another 100 years, man. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, or Mike Tyson, all the damn Mikes would be fucking white people, man, because they'll be to change that history up, right? So it says, the country cannot be woke, because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including in our museums. Your hottest country is going to be when them thermonuclear weapons come shooting this way. Yeah, it's going to be hot, all right. It's going to be beyond hot, because the scriptures talks about it's going to burn the elements with fervent heat, man. Everything here is going to be torched. God damn it, talking about hot, right? Well, let's just get another one. I don't want to keep this long. I seen the article yesterday. I seen a couple of brothers do something on it, but I had to wait till I got home to get into it. But yeah, these people, man, they have a perpetual hatred for you, Jake, and you have to wake y'all asses up, man. Repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahushua. Those are the true names of the Father and Son. They won't even tell you that they beat white Jesus into you. These people are not going to tell you white Jesus is an idol. They know white Jesus is an idol. They know the scriptures describes the Lord as being a dark melanated man. Don't think that they don't know that the children of Israel were dark melanated people. And it's not a color thing, because we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, so we look like all nations now. But you have to come through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and have to actually be an elect of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to actually, see salvation firsthand, because a lot of our people are going to be destroyed because they really believe that they're Americans. Now, you'll have some shit like this right here. This guy can say all this right here, and a nigga is going to get a goddamn turkey for Thanksgiving. These niggas are going to go and still celebrate 4th of July as long as it lasts and as long as it goes on. These niggas is not going to give up all the bullshit American shit. They're going to go even harder. And that's the reason why, 2/3 of our people got to just be put down, man. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And this is for you so-called white people. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And he needs some bloodthirsty ass people, man. As a matter of fact, let me get one more. That's a lot. Because again, you have, these ones are, well, none of you have never been slaves, and none of us have ever owned slaves. Let it go. It was the past. But no, the Lord, He's going to require that past, man. And this is Isaiah 21, and let me see here. No, that's not what I want. It's lucky. I think I'm mixing it up here. This is the chapter right here. Yep, 14 and 21. Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for His children, for the iniquity of their fathers. So these people that's here today, that's saying that, okay, you guys have never been slaves, and we've never owned no slaves, just let it go. Well, the Lord, He's gonna require that past, man. Matter of fact, in the NLT, the New Living Translation, it says, kill this man's children. Let them die because of their father's sin. They must not rise and conquer the earth, filling the world with cities. And the world need new management, man. You can clearly see this place is done with this man running the planet. Here you go, you got this guy running around talking about the Nobel Peace Prize and shit. And then I done a lesson on something he said too at that little get together with all those Europeans. He was talking about how he hopes that him stopping the Ukraine and Russian war, that the Lord give him a benefit of making it to heaven type of deal. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. Your ass going directly into chains. That's exactly what's going to happen. And again, these people have a perpetual hatred, and they have a real serious bloodthirst. Like, matter of fact, check this out. I was going off into some stories. Let me see here. And just seeing all the heinous shit that's in these stories is these people. Matter of fact, this one right here too, I just pulled this one. It says shower gel commercial banned for suggesting black skin is problematic. And this is over in the UK. So these Edomites, they think about you the same way everywhere. Now, this is Palmolive and Colgate. If you're familiar with they're the ones that, because they all over the world, Esau own every goddamn thing. But it says Colgate Palmolive was told it must not show the ad again, as they are to ensure they avoid it causing serious offense on the grounds of race. This is a goddamn commercial. When I was reading through it, I'm like, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? They straight to the point, like, you niggas ain't shit, right on TV. But that's the way that they feel. And this one right here, just a couple of little hookups of just, with Edomites. This is New York Post. It says disturbing video shows Brute knock woman unconscious in vicious beating at concert in Rose Bowl. And he was whooping her ass. This damn Edomite. He appears to be an Edomite. Like I said, it's not a skin color thing, but yeah, he pummeled her ass and her homegirls. Because Esau don't care, bro. He's a very brute man. Here's another one. Son charged after dad's body found hidden and burned in fire pit or rural road. Yeah, these people don't have no. They do their own people's dirty. Let me see here. Manhunt launched after woman raped in broad daylight in park. I think that was another country. This one right here, this Edomite, or she appears to be. Whatever he told you is truth. 14-year-old boy beaten on a daily basis by grandmother, angry about not receiving child support payments. So these Edomites, they be bugging the fuck out too, but they'll put Jake in the news like we're just a mascot for everything that's going on, man. This one right here. Woman shot husband dead after he wanted to add new rules to their open marriage. And he probably wanted to add in, him having a guy with, to do something to his ass. Who knows? I didn't read through it, but, just some Edomite shit. What else? I know it's some more. Oh, this shit right here. I don't fucking regret it. Army buddies chop up roommate after shooting him dead and then scattered his body parts in several locations. Right? So, hey, these Edomites can be very brutal. This guy right here. I'm sorry, Grammy. Teen tried to put grandma out of her misery with a hatchet because the Grim Reaper gave him orders. Yeah, see? And so it's story after story after story. Here's another one. Boyfriend Gregory Groom, 22, was arrested after body of his pregnant teen girlfriend found at family home. So, hey, Esau is doing the most out here. But again, who did they put on the news as the most violent people? You Jake, man. Just crazy, man. There's so much shit going on, bro. You can't even keep up with it. But don't be fooled. Esau is out here doing the worst shit, man. And so with that, let me go back, though. Necessarily got to go, because we pretty much got what we wanted out of this particular story with Trump here. But it just shows you, man, hey, you got to be careful around these people. Let me get this one in Revelation. Yeah. Okay, Revelation 13. Let me start at verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And this is exactly what's going to happen to you Edomites, man. You're going to have to pay for what you've done. As a matter of fact, let me get another one. Galatians 6 and 7. It says, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So the man Esau, Edom, became the progenitor of the so-called white race. And you're going to reap what you've sown as a nation. And let me get that. In the Old Testament here, Job 34, verse 29. And it reads, when he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Because that's pretty much what the Lord done with us. He held, he hid his face from us. but at this particular time right now, he's starting to open up and show us Israelites who we really are, and who our enemies really are, and he's gonna get down on y'all asses soon. But it says, whether it be done against a nation or against a man only. So we know that the Lord deals with nations of people, and he deals with the individual people within those nations. And these Americans, they talk about biracial, multiracial. They use land masses as ethnicities. They actually think that America is actually an ethnicity. A lot of them do. But that's not the case. The Lord created 18 nations in the scriptures, and you so-called white people, your nationality is you're Edomites. You're Edomites. You're not white. You're different shades of red people. There's no such thing as somebody running around looking like a glass of milk. Those are not ethnicities. Colors are not ethnicities, and land masses are not ethnicities. So you're gonna have to pay for what you've done. And all this trying to wipe the slate clean, trying to get rid of this history, that's just not gonna work, bro. The Lord is not about to allow that to happen, man. But that shows you the mindset of these Edomites, man. This guy right here, man, he got that super duper perpetual hatred for you niggas. And a lot of you, Jake, went out here and voted for this guy, and you deserve exactly what it is that your ass gonna get. This man is completely on some hatred shit, man, towards you. Like right now, I had to kind of pause the video just a little bit ago there. But right now, I'm standing outside. Me and my neighbor, because my neighbor asked me a question real quick, so I kind of paused the video. And then we seeing all these cars coming up the street. Like, oh shit, what the fuck? My neighbor, he kind of shook like that. He's like, man, all these fucking cars coming through here with all this tent. I'm talking about that super duper black ass tent. And then so they stopped a couple of houses down the street right here. I'm still watching them. Like about 10 cars deep, vans and shit. And I'm looking like, damn, bro, that's ICE? He was like, no, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? But it was a bunch of Jakes. But these was like, come to find out, these niggas is from the eviction department. They all out here in bulletproof vests and everything, because they know that, when it comes to evictions here, Jake will gun your ass down. You trying to throw him out of the house. But it's a bunch of fine ass chicks, big fat asses, some little cuties, what you call baddies, and all they shit is being thrown over into a damn dumpster. All they shit is out here on the curb. You see? And that's a part of, well, I would have to say, me speaking as a man, that's a part of these cuts that Trump is doing. Because there's no way, because they got kids. And Eve, she's had it made here in the Americas, man. You got a couple of kids, you getting food stamps, you're getting cash assistance. They're going to give you Section 8, a place to stay. Free Medicaid, Medicare, whatever the case may be, this, that, and the third. But me, speaking as a man, and I was talking with, telling the neighbor, I'm like, well, damn, them bitches is fine, though, because I done seen them. They snobby as hell, of course, but, I never said anything to them like that. But I'm talking about some super duper bodies on them, cuties, and I'm thinking like, well, damn, bitches normally that fine don't have no problems with finding some simp to pay their rent. You know what I'm saying? So, just crazy, bro. Just crazy. But I'm looking at this shit right now. I started to walk through there and take some damn video just to show you. Because they got everything out on the curb. Everything. You standing out here with the babies. You know what I'm saying? Just looking crazy as hell. So, hard times are about to come. There's been a video that's been going around too, with this young lady talking about pretty much the women and children are going to be the most vulnerable in the end. Or you think? And that kind of reminded me of what I'm seeing right now. Because they deep. I'm thinking like, damn, I had no idea that's how evictions go. I didn't know that they would send that many people. This shit is like 10 cars, man. With vans. But I guess they had to come through with a crew. And so they just walking every damn thing out, throwing that shit in the dumpster. The only thing that the chicks is keeping is the motherfucking, they coming out the crib right now with the washer and dryer. The refrigerator sitting on the curb. Only thing they was concerned with grabbing, because I guess they know a neighbor across the street that's nice enough to let them bring some shit across. It's a bunch of damn TVs. Then it came out of the house with a bunch of flat screens. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have the money to actually pay your shit, because that's the only reason why you're getting evicted, obviously. So they throwing all this shit over in the dumpster. I'm thinking like, damn, they do it like that? My neighbor was like, hell yeah. Hey, that's my first time seeing something like this in progress. But things are about to get nasty out here, man. So repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushai. Cause I'm serious. I've never seen no shit. And then the kids, they just, you know, riding on their little tricycles and shit like that. So I seen, you know, one of the chicks take the babies across the street, I guess, to a neighbor they know. But that's an embarrassing ass situation. Here you go, broad daylight. Everybody looking out their damn window, sitting on the porch in their beach chairs and shit, watching your ass get thrown out. And probably actually glad that you gone, because you know what I'm saying? There were rowdy ass parties and shit niggas be throwing, man. But anyway, lesson I want to get into when I seen this, yeah, niggas gonna come through and take all that shit. They don't have nobody come through and get that shit. They gonna take, niggas gonna ride down and take all that shit, what's left out on the curb. Refrigerator, stove, motherfucking washer, dryer, you know. And Jake gonna probably jump over into the damn dumpster if they don't take it immediately and grab whatever else. But anyway, I'm gonna end out there, man. Just wanted to do a quick lesson. So with that, shalom.